Some of us are talking ourselves out of our blessing. We're explaining ourselves to people who were never meant to understand us. We're defending what God already declared victorious. But I came to tell somebody today, you don't have to fight for what's already yours. Stay silent. Everything you need is on the way. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a demonstration of power, wisdom, and control. Too often we associate strength with volume, with the need to respond, to react, to defend ourselves against every accusation, every misunderstanding, and every doubt. But the truth is, real power is not in how loud you speak, but in how well you listen, how wisely you discern, and how strategically you respond. Some of the greatest battles are not won by speaking, but by standing still. When Jesus stood before Pilate, falsely accused, mocked, and ridiculed, he had every right to defend himself. He had the knowledge, the wisdom, and the divine authority to shut down every argument, silence every critic, and correct every lie. And yet, he stood there in silence. Why? Because his destiny was not tied to the approval or understanding of men. His silence was not weakness. It was the strength of a man who knew that his purpose was greater than the opinions of his accusers. Some of you are fighting unnecessary battles because you feel the need to explain yourself to people who will never understand you. You are wasting words on conversations that will never change minds. You are arguing with people who are not seeking the truth but are simply looking for an opportunity to tear you down. Let me tell you, your silence will do more damage to the enemy than your words ever could. There is a time to speak, but there is also a time to be quiet and let God do the talking. Think about Joseph. He had a dream, a destiny, a vision from God, and yet his own brothers hated him for it. He didn't need to convince them of who he was. He didn't need to argue his case. Even when he was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison, Joseph stayed faithful. He didn't waste time defending himself. He let God position him. And when the time was right, his silence led to elevation. Some of you need to stop explaining yourself and just let God show them. Silence is power because it shifts the burden from you to God. When you stay silent, you allow God to move on your behalf. When you hold your peace, you make room for God's justice. When you stop trying to control everything with your words, you allow the supernatural to take over. Silence is not surrender, it is strategy. Silence is not giving up, it is stepping back and letting God work. Some of the most dangerous people are the ones who don't react the way the enemy expects them to. When people push your buttons, they expect a reaction. When they slander your name, they expect you to respond. But when you stay silent, when you refuse to play their game, when you operate in wisdom instead of emotion, you disarm them completely. Silence confuses the enemy because it shows them that their attacks have no power over you. Silence is the mark of someone who knows their worth, their purpose, and their destiny. Stay silent, because what God has for you is already in motion. In life, we often find ourselves striving, pushing, and chasing after our desires, fearing that if we don't act swiftly, opportunities will slip through our fingers. However, there's a profound truth that offers solace. What's meant for you will not miss you. This principle reassures us that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, orchestrates events in our favor, ensuring that our destined blessings find their way to us, regardless of the obstacles we may encounter. Consider the story of Joseph from the Bible. Despite being sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph's destiny remained intact. His journey was fraught with hardships, yet each challenge was a stepping stone leading him closer to his purpose. In the end, he rose to a position of great authority in Egypt, demonstrating that no amount of adversity could derail what was divinely appointed for him. This narrative illustrates that delays and detours are not denials. The timing of our lives may not align with our personal expectations, but that doesn't mean our aspirations are unattainable. Sometimes the universe requires us to wait, not as a form of punishment, but as a period of preparation. During these times, we develop resilience, gain wisdom, and cultivate the character needed to steward the blessings that await us. It's essential to recognize that our journeys are unique. Comparing our past to others can lead to unnecessary frustration and doubt. While someone else may achieve a milestone sooner, it doesn't diminish the value or timing of our own achievements. The success of others doesn't negate our potential. Instead, it serves as a testament to the boundless opportunities available to all. Moreover, the concept that what's meant for you won't miss you encourages a balance between effort and surrender. While it's crucial to set goals and work diligently towards them, it's equally important to release the need for control over every outcome. Trusting the process means acknowledging that some variables are beyond our influence and that a higher power is at work, aligning circumstances for our ultimate good. This trust doesn't imply passivity. On the contrary, it calls for active participation in our growth while maintaining faith that the universe will handle the rest. It's about planting seeds through our actions and nurturing them with patience, understanding that the fruition of our efforts will manifest at the right time. In moments of doubt, when it seems like opportunities have passed us by, it's helpful to remember that rejection can be a form of redirection. What we perceive as mischances may actually be the universe steering us away from paths that aren't aligned with our true purpose, guiding us towards something even more fulfilling. In conclusion, embracing the belief that what's meant for you will not miss you fosters a sense of peace and confidence. It allows us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace, knowing that our destinies are secure. By aligning our actions with this understanding, we open ourselves to the natural flow of life's blessings, trusting that everything unfolds as it should. In life's journey, we often encounter individuals who, under the guise of friendship or neutrality, harbor ill intentions towards us. It's natural to feel compelled to unmask these adversaries, to confront and expose them. However, there's profound wisdom in allowing time and circumstances to reveal the true nature of such individuals. By maintaining our integrity and trusting in a higher power, we often find that our enemies will inevitably expose themselves. The Bible offers numerous accounts where adversaries, through their own actions, unveil their true intentions, leading to their downfall. A notable example is found in 2 Chronicles 20, where King Jehoshaphat of Judah faced a formidable alliance of enemies. Instead of resorting to immediate confrontation, Jehoshaphat and his people sought divine guidance through prayer and worship. In response, God caused confusion among the attacking armies, leading them to turn against each other, ultimately destroying themselves. This narrative illustrates that by placing trust in divine intervention and refraining from impulsive reactions, adversaries can become the architects of their own demise. Bible Gateway. Another compelling story is that of Haman in the book of Esther. Haman, a high-ranking official in the Persian Empire, harbored deep animosity towards Mordecai, a Jew who refused to bow to him. Consumed by hatred, Haman devised a plot to exterminate all Jews in the kingdom. However, through a series of divinely orchestrated events, Haman's scheme was revealed, leading to his execution on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. This account underscores the principle that malicious intentions often backfire, resulting in the perpetrator's downfall. These stories convey a timeless truth. When we uphold righteousness and exercise patience, those who plot against us often reveal their true colors without any intervention on our part. It's a testament to the idea that evil, by its very nature, is self-destructive. As Proverbs 26:27 aptly states, "Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them." In contemporary life, this principle remains relevant. In professional settings, for instance, individuals may encounter colleagues who, driven by envy or ambition, engage in deceitful practices to undermine others. While the immediate reaction might be to confront or retaliate, often maintaining professionalism and integrity allows the truth to surface naturally. Over time, such individuals often expose their own duplicity, leading to consequences that their actions have warranted. Moreover, in personal relationships, there may be individuals who pretend to be allies but secretly harbor resentment or ill will. By staying true to one's values and not succumbing to pettiness or vindictiveness, these false friends often reveal their true intentions through inconsistent behavior or betrayal, leading to the dissolution of the facade they've maintained. It's essential to recognize that the exposure of adversaries doesn't always occur immediately. Patience is crucial. Trusting in the natural order of justice or in divine timing requires faith. While it might be tempting to expedite the unmasking of an enemy, allowing them the space to reveal themselves often leads to a more profound and undeniable revelation of their character. In conclusion, the concept that your enemies will expose themselves is a powerful reminder of the virtues of patience, integrity, and faith. By refraining from hasty confrontations and trusting in a higher power or the natural course of justice, we allow those with malicious intent to unveil their true nature, often leading to their downfall. This approach not only preserves our integrity, but also reinforces the timeless adage that evil is its own worst enemy. In the midst of our fast-paced, noise-saturated world, the concept of stillness often feels foreign, even uncomfortable. Yet it is within this very stillness that we can encounter the profound presence of God. The Bible frequently emphasizes the importance of quietness and rest as avenues to divine connection. Psalm 46:10 implores us to be still and know that I am God, suggesting that understanding and experiencing God's sovereignty is intricately linked to our ability to embrace stillness. Lord Jesus. The prophet Elijah's experience further illustrates this principle. As described in 1 Kings 19:12, Elijah anticipated encountering God through dramatic natural events, a powerful wind, an earthquake, and a fire. However, God was not present in these grand displays. Instead, Elijah found God in a sound of a gentle blowing, often translated as a still small voice. This narrative teaches us that God's communication often transcends the obvious and dramatic, favoring the subtle and quiet moments. Knowing Jesus. Modern life, with its relentless demands and constant stimuli, can desensitize us to these gentle divine whispers. Our schedules are packed, our devices incessantly alerting us, and our minds perpetually racing. In such an environment, cultivating stillness becomes both a challenge and a necessity. Intentional moments of quiet allow us to tune our spiritual ears to God's frequency, fostering a deeper awareness of His presence and guidance. Scientific research supports the benefits of embracing silence. A study from the University of Pavia in 2006 found that periods of silence can lower stress levels more effectively than music, promoting relaxation and mental clarity. This aligns with the spiritual practice of seeking solitude to connect with the divine, as silence creates a conducive environment for introspection and communion with God. The Guardian. Incorporating stillness into our daily routine doesn't require grand gestures. Simple practices can make a significant difference. Setting aside a few minutes each day for silent prayer or meditation, disconnecting from digital distractions, or spending time in nature can help quiet the mind and open the heart to God's voice. As Psalm 62:5 states, "For God alone, O my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from Him." This verse encourages us to find hope and guidance through patient, silent waiting upon the Lord. Maurice D'Amore. Embracing stillness is not about escaping the world's responsibilities, but about creating space within ourselves to encounter God amidst life's chaos. It's in these intentional pauses that we become attuned to the divine whispers guiding, comforting, and sustaining us. By prioritizing moments of quiet, we open ourselves to a deeper, more intimate relationship with our Creator, discovering that in the stillness, God speaks. In the journey of faith, it's often said that actions speak louder than words. This principle emphasizes that our deeds are a more authentic reflection of our beliefs than our verbal declarations. The Bible underscores this concept, urging believers to live out their faith through tangible actions. In the book of James, the importance of aligning actions with professed faith is highlighted. James 2:17 states, "So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead." This verse emphasizes that faith without corresponding actions is essentially meaningless. Educación activa. Jesus himself illustrated this principle in the parable of the two sons. In Matthew 21:28-31, a father asks his two sons to work in his vineyard. The first son initially refuses but later goes, while the second agrees to go but doesn't follow through. Jesus concludes that the first son, despite his initial refusal, did the will of his father. This story underscores that genuine obedience is demonstrated through actions, not just words. Christianity. The Apostle John also emphasizes the importance of love expressed through actions. In 1 John 3:18, he writes, "Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." This verse calls believers to demonstrate love through tangible deeds, reflecting the sincerity of their faith. Verses and prayers. The Bible consistently teaches that authentic faith manifests in actions. It's not enough to merely profess belief. Our lives must reflect our convictions. By embodying our faith through deeds, we not only affirm our beliefs, but also serve as a testament to others, showcasing the transformative power of genuine faith. In the intricate tapestry of life, there are moments when we may feel abandoned or question the trajectory of our journey. However, it's essential to recognize that God is perpetually at work behind the scenes, orchestrating events for our ultimate benefit. Even when His presence isn't overtly visible, His influence permeates every aspect of our existence. The story of Joseph, as detailed in the book of Genesis, exemplifies this divine orchestration. Joseph's brothers, driven by jealousy, sold him into slavery, leading to years of hardship and imprisonment. Despite these adversities, Joseph remained steadfast in his faith. Unbeknownst to him, God was maneuvering circumstances to position him as a ruler in Egypt, ultimately saving many from famine. Reflecting on his journey, Joseph acknowledged God's hand in his trials, stating, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Genesis 50:20. This narrative underscores that even in our darkest hours, God is silently working to bring about a greater good. Similarly, the book of Esther provides a profound illustration of God's unseen guidance. Esther, a Jewish woman, ascended to the position of queen in Persia. When a decree threatened the annihilation of her people, Esther courageously intervened, risking her life to appeal to the king. While God's name isn't explicitly mentioned in the text, the sequence of events reveals His subtle orchestration, placing Esther in a pivotal role for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. This account highlights that God's presence doesn't always manifest through overt miracles. Often, He works through individuals and circumstances to fulfill His purposes. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Romans, reinforces this assurance, stating, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Romans 8:28. This verse serves as a reminder that regardless of our current challenges, God is intricately involved in weaving the fabric of our lives, ensuring that every thread contributes to a greater design. In our contemporary lives, it's easy to become disheartened when immediate solutions or clear signs of divine intervention are absent. However, faith calls us to trust in God's timing and His unseen hand at work. As Isaiah 64:4 proclaims, "Since ancient times no one has heard, no ear has perceived, no eye has seen any God besides you, who acts on behalf of those who wait for Him." This passage encourages patience and trust, affirming that God is actively working behind the scenes for those who remain faithful. In moments of uncertainty, it's beneficial to reflect on past instances where unforeseen circumstances led to unexpected blessings. These reflections can bolster our faith, reminding us that God's hidden hand has always been guiding us, even when we were unaware. In conclusion, while we may not always perceive God's immediate presence, we can find solace in the knowledge that He is continually working behind the scenes. Our role is to maintain faith, trust in His divine plan, and remain open to the subtle ways He directs our paths. By doing so, we align ourselves with His purpose, allowing His unseen hand to lead us toward fulfillment and peace. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but stay silent. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop explaining what God is doing in your life. The people meant to understand will understand, and the people who doubt will see it when it happens. Your job is not to convince. Your job is to trust. Stay silent, because everything you need is already coming to you. Can somebody say amen?